Hi everyone, welcome to Meditation with Annemarie. This is part 12 of my 21-part series on coping with change using your inner power. So today I'm going to be drawing our 12th power for us to practice to help us stay on track and to help us cope better with change and challenges that we may be facing in our day-to-day living. And all the powers that I'm sharing with you are based on my book, Will to Wonder, Principles on the Loss and Recovery of Power. And the book is based on our teachings as Brahma Kumaris. So remember to subscribe down below, and it's always helpful and supportive if you can leave a comment and like the video. So before I even draw our next power, I just wanted to share something with you. I've been having all sorts of issues with my new microphone. Hence, I'm using my earpiece again today. And I spent pretty much most of yesterday in between my clients trying to get this video up and out for you. Unfortunately, it turns out that with all the videos that I've been producing, it's putting a lot of pressure on my computer. And not being computer literate, I do the best I can. But I'm now aware that I now have to save up for a new computer because it's put too much strain on the computer and it's been getting too hot, which is why the microphone isn't coping. So when I'm speaking through the microphone, the voice is lagging, and there's many different reasons, but apparently with mine it's to do with the processor overheating. You might know more than I do. I don't know. Anyway, until then, I will do my best. My main aim is to really just get this information out to you to help you cope with daily change. So please bear with me with the recording, with the sound and the rest of it. Okay, let's draw a power. Let's see. Very appropriate. Power of enthusiasm. So the power of enthusiasm is the ability to stay light and free from external influence, regardless of what's going on around me. It means to use my energy wisely and economically so that I can stay above the dense vibration of the world. I am the conduit or the channel. I allow the divine energy to flow through me so I can keep on giving without ever becoming empty. Life is joyful because I understand and accept my powerful role within it. And the supporting virtues that help you practice and apply this power even better is acceptance, tolerance, very appropriate today, lightness, flexibility, consistency, and patience. So another beautiful power, and obviously I was meant to draw that for me, but hopefully you're going to get lots of benefit out of this power when you apply it in your life. Okay, so let's start with the meditation. So starting with a gentle breath deep down into your belly, releasing any tension in your body, in your mind. And just checking, briefly scanning your body from the top of your head all the way down to the tips of your toes. Making sure your spine is nice and upright. Your shoulders are back and relaxed. And you're breathing deep into your belly, not into your chest, not into your shoulders, not into your throat. And as you're breathing calmly and consciously, I want you now to have the intention and focus on drawing up all the energy from your body, starting at your feet, drawing it all the way up through your legs, through your hips, through your abdomen and your chest, bringing it all the way up, just like you're pulling it up, pulling up that energy from your fingertips, all the way up your arms, through your shoulders, pulling that energy up all the way through your neck, throat, your jaw, until you become just that tiny pinpoint of light resting in the middle of your forehead. This is I, the soul, the controller of my mind and my body. So in this state of subtle self-awareness, it enables you to step back from your daily roles and just turning inward for a little while to recharge, to reset yourself, to stabilize your internal environment, and just becoming the observer from the tower of your forehead. Just imagine you're sitting in a tower looking outward, and having checked your internal environment, check if you're being triggered by anything external. And just breathing it out, remembering you're just a point of light. And as that being of light, it becomes much easier to let go of those emotions that may be causing you distress, those thoughts that may be causing you upset. So as the observer, just let those thoughts come and let them go. Especially if you are creating thoughts in regards to any external situation. You are the creator of your thoughts. So you have the ability, with practice, to turn negative into positive, disempowering into empowered. So just be that still point. Give yourself permission to just be as silent as you possibly can. This is a wonderful exercise to strengthen your inner power. And today we're focusing on the power of enthusiasm. If we are externally driven and don't turn inward enough to recharge and reset ourselves, our power of enthusiasm will become weak, and we will be easily caught up in what we're not able to control, which is anything outside of yourself. So giving yourself permission to turn inward and to strengthen your own inner power enables you to stay light and easy in life. It enables you to be able to let go a lot easier than you otherwise would. It enables you to accept life as it is. without enforcing any change or forcing my opinion. Instead, I just focus on my strengths and knowing I have the power to turn inward is enough to keep that enthusiasm flowing. And enthusiasm allows you to flow with the good, with the bad, with the indifferent, because it reminds you that you are not the roles that you play. It reminds you that you cannot control anyone or anything outside of you, giving you more opportunity to work on your own inner environment, lifting your enthusiasm, lifting your ability to simply have a go at life. Recharging yourself regularly, turning inward and upward into your own forehead. Reminds you that you are the master creator of your thoughts, the master of your body, of your actions and of your reactions and of your responses. And it will help you discern between the difference, knowing when you are giving away your power and knowing when you are standing firmly in your power with unconditional love for yourself and for others. So taking a breath, feeling recharged, feeling somehow a little bit more stable. Allow that energy from the middle of your forehead to now slowly fill the rest of your body, all the way down to the tips of your toes. And taking a breath, coming back to the here and now. Om Shanti. So the power of enthusiasm. Another one of my favorite powers, because enthusiasm gives you energy to do what needs to be done. Whether it's something you enjoy or not, the enthusiasm gives you that ability to finish what you start. So just to help you understand the difference. So firstly, enthusiasm comes from the ancient Greek word enthusiasmos. And that means allowing the divine energy to flow through me. So, which is very different to passion. Passion, we are often socially conditioned to believe if you don't have a passion, what's wrong with you? And yet passion is not very sustainable because we are working from ourselves, not allowing the divine to flow through us. We're not being that conduit, we're not being that channel. So when we're not open to receiving, then we're blocking that channel, we're blocking our that energy to come through me. And by blocking that, I'm then trying to give of myself. And because I'm not being filled, I'm going to want some kind of return, because I'm going to be giving from an empty space. And the more I give, the more empty I become, the more I'm needing some kind of validation. some kind of return, some kind of recognition that, I did good. So when I am enthusiastic, I'm remembering that I'm the vessel, that I am the channel, I am the conduit through which the divine is flowing. And this way, the energy goes where it needs to go and it will be accurate. It may not always be what we want or what we expect how it looks like, but it will always be what we need and what others need. So to remain enthusiastic is a lot more sustainable than having passion. And passion can become quite forceful, can become quite aggressive. We can even walk over others in the pursuit of our passion. And we can miss that because for example, I might be out saving the world, but I'm missing the fact that I'm not giving attention to myself, and I may not be giving attention to my own family. So to be able to recognize that as passion, not enthusiasm, because enthusiasm means I am giving to all. Even if it's through my mind and they might not be right in front of me, I can still send them that love and that light. My intention will be to send that love and that light outward to reach whoever is needing it at the time. So I don't become stingy with what I'm giving. Passion can often become quite narrow-minded. I've seen this happen a lot in different cultures, including, women's groups who are open to helping other women, and yet we become quite narrow-minded because we can become quite exclusive. And that's what passion does. It makes us exclusive, whereas enthusiasm is all-inclusive. No one is left out because it's not coming from me, so I don't become selective as to who I give it to. The divine is flowing through me, and that enables me to trust that whatever I'm doing, whatever I'm giving out, is coming from the divine and it's going to benefit all. Whether others pick up on that or not is irrelevant. They're going to benefit whether they actually are aware of it or not. So what I love about enthusiasm, there's no expectation. I don't need to wait around for a reward or for validation or recognition. I don't need a thank you. If it comes, it's a bonus, but I'm perfectly fine without it, because often with passion, we're needing that bit of recognition. And when we're needing that recognition, we risk triggering old patterns of maybe not being good enough. And so we go into the rescuer mode and we start rescuing people, which doesn't serve anyone. And by being able to step back and observe, because I'm just allowing the divine to flow through me, then there's no expectation. And so, because when there's an expectation, when I'm looking for that validation, when I'm looking for that thank you, then I feel, it makes me feel good about myself. And I often hear this, and I've done it myself, but it's satisfying. But with that satisfaction, if someone defames me, if they don't like what I say, or if they don't like what I'm giving, then I'm going to feel really hurt. And once again, allowing the divine to flow through me, which I think is, for me personally, it's a much more beautiful way of following your dreams, following your passion, because that enthusiasm is sustainable, because you're always being filled and you're always passing it onward. So you're not hanging on to anything and you're not being selective in who you're giving it to. It's just flowing freely. So this is where to become that channel, that river, constantly flowing, right? A river doesn't take anything personal. it just keeps giving because it's aware that it's attached to the ocean. So I hope that makes sense to you. It's quite deep because we've been conditioned, as I said earlier, to think that we need to have a passion. If you don't have a passion, what's wrong with you? And it's a passion that keeps you alive. Well, no, the passion can, if we're not aware of where we are stepping over our boundaries, our passion will become, we can hurt others in the process. And then all your hard work, what you were aiming for, it's like we lose sight of the bigger picture. And when we lose sight of the bigger picture, no matter what work we've put into it, the damage is done, right? So for me, it's much better to keep tapping upward, tapping inward and tapping upward to remain open, to be that open channel, that vessel, that conduit, so I can be continually filled and I can continually keep giving. So I hope that makes sense. I hope that gives you a little bit of insight on the power of enthusiasm and how it might be able to help you in the ever-changing scenery of life, because especially at the moment, and where we are in Hervey Bay in Queensland, we're quite fortunate. We've only experienced the lockdown back in March. So we've been very fortunate, but it also means we've been a little bit insulated, and we need to not be complacent. We need to really appreciate and be grateful for this opportunity to continue to work on my own inner strengths, to continue to sharpen my own inner strength, so that when in time of need, I know which tools, which powers to use, and I won't be scrambling for them and then getting busy in sharpening them, because it's like first aid. Once you know what you need to do and then you are faced with a situation, you can't think about and get your theory papers out. You have to then apply what you know. And enthusiasm, all our different powers are no different. We are called upon to use these powers often at a time when we least expect it. So expect the unexpected, which allows you to remain enthusiastic, because then you can flow with whatever is happening around you, because internally you are stable, because internally you are connected, and you're connected upward. And that's the most powerful, peaceful place, because you are returning to your essence of peace, and you're using that power to not only help yourself, but to serve the world. So I hope that helped you a little bit. And let's finish off with another meditation. So once again, just starting with the breath, breathing in that calm and releasing any tension, any fear, any anxiety, any anger or frustration, any uncertainty, any confusion. And I want you to imagine now to be that channel, to be that river, or if you're a tradesperson, the conduit might work very well for you. But right now for me, I like to use the river, because the river is always flowing. And the river doesn't stop when there's an obstacle in its path. It finds a way to flow over it or around it, but it continues to flow in some form. And when you look at the mouth of the river, it's attached to the ocean. And the ocean is vast and wide. always moving. Maybe sound on top, the waves, you can hear the waves crashing, but beneath it is complete silence. And from that silence is the ability to recharge. And through that recharging, you can remain that ever-flowing, beautiful, calming river. And know that people like to sit by you, by that river, because it helps calm them down. It helps cool any heated situation just by them coming to sit by you. So allow yourself that time throughout your day, not just when you need it, particularly when you don't need it, is the time to keep filling and to keep giving. Always flowing, always filling, always giving, always finding a way around the situation, not focusing on the obstacle or the rock or the boulder that's being thrown in the middle of the river, not focusing on trying to break that down or trying to remove it. Instead, just finding a way around it, gently and lovingly, ever flowing. This is just one wonderful way that you can give to the world. And if you are in lockdown and you feel like you're not doing enough, turn inward and upward and become that flowing river, that channel or that conduit, and just allow the divine to flow through you and simply send that loving, peaceful, recharging energy out into the world, because that vibration will change, will transform that negative vibration that we all know so well these days. So rather than focus on that negative vibration, that boulder in the river, be the river and transform those situations by simply keeping flowing, by simply remaining open to receiving, allowing you to remain enthusiastic. Om Shanti.